Hi, this is Ethan Hart,
Christian Nolan.
Matthew Gelhard.
and welcome to our coverage of the NBA playoffs and the awards coming up. So today we're going to go over the list of awards we have and our predictions for who's going to win these awards. And we're also going to go a little over the playoff coverage.
Who we think's going to win, pretty much the main focus of this is the MVP. But we're going through the small awards, like the Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, Sixth Man, all that stuff.
Coach of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, yes. So let's start off with Rookie of the Year. Christian, who are your thoughts?
Well, the candidates are the Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers, Dario Saric. How do you say his name?
Saric.
Philadelphia 76ers, Malcolm Brogdon of the Milwaukee Bucks. And, to be honest, I think Joel Embiid is coming off. He's been out of the NBA for 2 years, coming out from that injury. He's coming back, and the impact that he had on this year, averaging 20 points.
31 games, yeah.
Yeah, 31 games.
Or injuring him.
Yeah.
We're getting injured again.
It's kind of obvious, and I think the NBA. The only reason why he's going to win is because the NBA feels kind of bad for him. Missing 2 years of potentially. He could have gone places, and he could have gone out of the 76ers by now. But they're probably going to give it to him, so that's what I think.
Oh yeah, he's getting a contract this summer.
Yeah.
I think he had a good season for the length he played. In fact, you remember around February, he was getting All-Star consideration, which is super rare for a rookie. I don't think we've seen that since Yao Ming 2003.
Yeah.
His playing skills have been very good. I mean, he also has had some shenanigans outside of the game, but on the court, he is a boss.
All right, Matt, your pick for Rookie of the Year?
I have to go. Saric is his name?
Saric.
He, is a wonderful compliment with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. He's shooting 40.4% in the last stretch of their games, and he really moves the offense up and down the court and changes the tempo, because when he is not feeling well, he's not in the lineup, it just affects everyone around the team over there.
It was interesting because I saw before Joel Embiid's injury, Dario Saric wasn't having a great rookie season. He was shooting under 40% for the first 2 months. After Joel Embiid got injured, his points per game ticked up, his assists ticked up, and he ultimately was much more efficient from the field.
Well, that's the thing here too that's going to bite Joel Embiid in the butt. Joel Embiid, 31 games played out of 82, and you have Dario Saric, who played how many games? You say?
He played about 70.
70?
70-ish, yes.
That's, if you said like 74, that's what, 32, 33 more games? 43,
yeah, which is what about the average NBA player?
43, yeah, but at the same
injuries,
time,
so yeah.
I don't know what you said about the field goal percentage for Dario Saric, but Joel Embiid's 46% from the field, which is, it isn't bad for a player, but for a big man, I wouldn't really say that's kind of qualified as Rookie of the Year material.
No.
From the field, he shot 41% this year. He shot Dario Saric. He shot 31% from the three, which isn't great. But then again, that's not his strong. That's not.
Well, at the same time,
he played 81 games, so
he's not a big man though. Big men only shoot percent. They're starting to evolve outside the arc, but they're more inside. And with you have DeAndre Jordan, who averages 60% field goal percentage.
Led the league this year in field goal percentage.
That's what a big man should be doing. They should be leading that stat right there. Yeah. But Joel Embiid, that's what's beating.
My pick is from Milwaukee Bucks, very overshadowed by Giannis Antetokounmpo, but I think Malcolm Brogdon wins this year. And if he were to win, his average of 10.2 points a game, the lowest it would be for any Rookie of the Year. But I'm not really focusing on that. I'm focused on his durability and the fact that unlike Joel Embiid, but of course Dario Saric, like I said, played 81 games. But Malcolm Brogdon has been consistent the entire year. And if you're looking at NBA players who you want to give good contracts to, and especially someone you want to build around in the future, not that they're building around Malcolm Brogdon because they're quite the opposite. They're building around Giannis Antetokounmpo. But he's a very nice addition to their team, and especially to a team that is not known for success. And you saw them, even though they just got booted out of the first round of the playoffs with the Raptors. You see a team like Bucks with these two young guys, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Malcolm Brogdon.
Also,
and you have hope too.
Parker.
Jabari Parker, great forward.
Very good player.
You're only going up.
Well, transitioning from the most improved player, we already know we all have the same picks. The candidates, I'll read them off real quick. They are
Devin Booker,
you have
throw in there.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas, really?
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas, Rudy Gobert, Otto Porter Jr. Even Kawhi Leonard for most improved.
They didn't put Devin Booker in there?
No. He's not in there.
Oh, I think he is.
But, I'm a Boston Celtics fan, so of course I'd want to go for Isaiah Thomas, but I have to pick Giannis Antetokounmpo because the numbers he put up
I couldn't
this
agree
year.
with you more.
God.
He is the Bucks. He is the Bucks. He led in almost every stat, and
He led in every stat.
He led in every stat.
The first player in the modern era.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing against the team, but it just goes to show.
It
how
shows
good
his
he
potential.
played.
And if the Bucks ever were to lose Giannis, which they probably will not, because he just signed a contract, I think. But if they ever were to lose Giannis Antetokounmpo, their stats, their points every game, it dropped tremendously.
Oh, yeah, he's a huge part of their offense, especially being the point forward that he is. And he's 6'11". You can
not even mentioning
20 years ago, you cannot have a 7-footer bringing up the ball, but you see him. He's averaging 5.4 assists a game, about 23 points, about 9 rebounds, shooting 53% from the field in 80 games. I mean, I think he might be the best player in the NBA in 5 years. He's got the potential.
That's kind of tough to say.
I think he might be. He's up there.
Really, because Kawhi Leonard, I'm not going that far. But did you know that he practiced with, or he worked out with Kobe Bryant ever since Kobe Bryant retired? And I'm not going to read his stats yet, but his stats have definitely improved. And I'll be bragging about him.
He's the silent superstar of the NBA.
Yeah, but Giannis, he does have potential.
Yes.
I don't know if it's coming soon, but
okay.
Eventually.
So we're going to move on to Defensive Player of the Year, and I don't know what you guys have, but I have Kawhi Leonard, and I have him repeating because I don't think it's much of a competition. I know you have Rudy Gobert, but I think he has the most blocks, steals, and fused turnovers per 100 possessions of any of the major candidates. And I used to be able to give this title to Tony Allen as best of the Grizzlies for that best perimeter defender. But Kawhi Leonard's earned it. You see him on the highlight reels all the time, pickpocketing LeBron James, Chris Paul, all these other major superstars with the ball in their hand. And he's just a leader on the court offensively and defensively. You
got to think, Defensive Player of the Year, I think, is one of the hardest awards to get.
It's not always
the NBA.
statistics.
Kawhi Leonard, 2-time reigning NBA Defensive of the Year player. He's also running up against Rudy Gobert, though, that's leading the NBA with blocks. I think it's a total of almost 3. You also have Anthony Davis. I don't know how many blocks or steals he's been at.
He averaged about 2 a game. He was second
really?
in the NBA.
All right, well, I mean, you also have that too, but I think it's mostly coming down to maybe not statistic-wise, but more team-wise and what the leader is on that backcourt, because Kawhi Leonard, if you've been watching the San Antonio Spurs, pretty much every freaking stop that they get in their game is because of Kawhi Leonard.
Have you seen those dudes' hands?
He's
the claw for a reason.
It's humongous.
His hands are huge.
But
some dinosaur hands.
One person to look at, Draymond Green, and he's put he's in the shadow. You have all that offensive power on that Warriors team, but you see Draymond. You watch the Golden State game, and you see Draymond go out there and have 3 blocks, and he just once he has 3 in a row, he'll get 4 stops. It just shuts down the other team, and it just gets in their head and really slows them down.
I saw earlier this year, he's the only player in NBA history to have a triple-double without having 10 points.
Yeah, 10
he
points.
Had, was it 10 steals?
It was 10 steals, 10 rebounds, 10 assists.
Name 5 guys in the NBA that gets 10 steals in a game.
Yeah.
Chris Paul, any of the league guards.
Gary Payton, the glove.
Gary Payton, the glove's retired, Christian.
Well, I'm just naming NBA legends. Anyway, I'm picking Rudy Gobert, even though Kawhi Leonard's a good choice. Rudy Gobert, it's kind of like Draymond Green, right when you get a couple blocks in a row, maybe not in the back-to-back, not back-to-back stops, but throughout the game, it makes the other team start to realize, maybe I just can't even go in there anymore.
Go to the paint. Yeah.
And it's really scary seeing, I don't know how tall Rudy Gobert is. We'll say he's like almost 7 foot. He's a big guy. But just seeing Rudy Gobert in the paint and you drive to the hole, you know that thing's going to get shot back.
So let's move on to Sixth Man of the Year.
Well, I'll let Gelhard go first, actually. Lou Williams, I'll read the candidates. Lou Williams, the Houston Rockets, Zach Randolph, the Memphis Grizz, Tobias Harris, Enes Kanter, and Wilson Chandler.
Okay, well, you already listed my man, and I don't think he gets enough credit. Zach Randolph, coming off the bench, averaging 14 points a game, 8 rebounds, and almost 2 assists. He needs more credit. At the beginning of the season, he was out rebounding his whole team off the bench, which is something that you just cannot replace.
He might be a Hall of Famer. I don't know what you guys think, but he's quietly put together a great career. He's
very quietly put together a tremendous career.
Yeah, he started every single year. He's the Grizzlies' only team. I'll take that back. He's the second team he's been with. But he's a very loyal guy. He's been with them for about 10 plus years now. He's potentially putting together a Hall of Fame career. I personally have Eric Gordon. I think that Rockets team, especially with the kinds of threes and numbers they put up, him coming off the bench, reviving his career from New Orleans with a hot shooting stroke he's shown this year. I think he's definitely going to be my pick for Sixth Man of the Year, no doubt.
Well, I mean, Eric Gordon was a good choice. He was probably my second, but Andre Iguodala, he's not even in talk, but I will totally vote for him. He's been previously the Sixth Man of the Year. I think not last year. It was a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. Jamal Crawford had it. Yeah, and Andre Iguodala, the way he comes off the bench, kind of like Zach Randolph, as Gelhard said. He just makes a big impact on the whole entire team and with Golden State and all that, and that's why I think he should be able to win. But jumping.
So in this portion of today's podcast, we're going to be talking about the coveted MVP race. Christian, would you like to tell us the candidates?
Candidates are Kawhi Leonard of the San Antonio Spurs, James Harden of the Houston Rockets, Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and LeBron James of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And you know what? I may even add Isaiah Thomas in that talk, but we won't talk about him because we already know how much of a god he is. But anyway.
Only players over 6 feet are good in the NBA.
Okay.
So we're going to try to keep this in an orderly fashion. There might be some yelling, but for you as a listener, just get through it.
You know what? I want to start off.
Okay.
I know I'm going for Kawhi Leonard, but I just want to make a point for OKC's Russell Westbrook.
Thank you.
Because he was my number one choice at first, but you know what? I decided to choose Kawhi Leonard, who I already know who's going to win.
I think James Harden's also respected.
No, I'm talking. Let's see. Regular season for Russell Westbrook, 31 points, almost 32, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, an average of a triple-double. The first time in how many years, Gelhard? 45? 45 years, Oscar Robertson. Now, he's also averaging 1.6 steals, and do you know their record, the OKC Thunder?
Just above 500, but he got him in the playoffs.
500?
Right over 500.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Which earned them a 6th seed in the West, might I add.
Well, 6th seed, but let's think about Russell Westbrook. I'll let him argue the point. You can go on about it.
I mean, you might as well just call him the Oklahoma City Westbrook. That he is the team. When he is not on the court, because this man cannot play every minute of every game. When this man is not on the court, the whole team can do absolutely nothing, and that's what takes Thunder out of the games, because they can't handle themselves without Thunder. He is the team, and You know, he's a very athletic individual.
I will say, along with that point, albeit I'm not really advocating for his position to win MVP, you saw in like recent interviews a couple weeks ago where the reporters were pointing it out to Westbrook that every time he left the floor, offensive efficiency went down quite a bit, and you can see him standing up, defending for his teammates.
Because it's not just him; it's the team. But
yes, it is a team. It's the right mentality, but he is that team. He is no supporting cast.
Can you stop yelling? Okay.
I agree with you, but you cannot play basketball 1-on-5.
You can't.
It's not. It's not like the rest of his team does nothing, but to form that team into a championship team, you need to rewind a few years back. And you know, everyone talks about this before. You have Harden, Westbrook, and Durant all together. That's the sort of team that you want to win a championship. But when you got Westbrook and Oladipo and Adams, what do you got?
These are like second tier guys. There's not really guys you really are going to form a team around. Like, they're okay building pieces, but besides Westbrook, they don't really have a solid second option.
What I think is like the most valuable player, you know. Yeah, so I mean, adding on to that, like with Russell Westbrook, do I think he should win MVP? Yes, but I don't, because Kawhi Leonard's going to win. But the reason why he could win it is because of those 42 triple doubles and the way that he's pretty much carried his team on his back through the whole season, 82 games, and he even won the first game in the round 1 against Houston Rockets. I mean, yeah, you can't even argue that. But do I think he should win? No, because his personality is terrible. The only reason why he has a triple-double is because he'll take 35 shots first and then start passing it off like he usually does.
But he's focused. You may say he has a terrible personality, but that's what makes him so creative and such a different player in the NBA, because, you know, you don't see every player acting like that. I mean, some of these guys, they love the media, they love the spotlight. Westbrook is there to play and then go home and do whatever he wants. He's not there for anything else other than to play basketball.
He's there for that contract.
Yeah.
I saw he's eligible for a 5-year, $200-something million contract this summer. That's how valuable he's become to this team.
He's already signed his contract extension.
Yep.
But I thought it was funny. I'll let you talk. But I thought it was funny just like looking at the roster of the OKC Thunder and seeing Russell Westbrook, and they signed Victor Oladipo over the summer this year. He was a freaking amazing shooting guard in Orlando for the Orlando Magic, and he only got 3 more points averaging. He averaged like 12 points last year. He averages 15 points, and for an all-star like Victor Oladipo, you would think that, Russell Westbrook has a better guy to look to now, but really Russell Westbrook, he upped his game this year, and he didn't
not his teammates.
Not his teammates. You're right. Yeah, it was literally Victor Oladipo was in Russell Westbrook's shadow. So that's the problem I think it is with his team. And to be honest, I think MVP should be based on the team success and the wins and losses.
I don't look at Russell Westbrook. I don't look at the Thunder and I think, this is one team with the same set of goals in mind. When I look at like the pieces in the Thunder, they're not there for the purpose of being on a team. They're there for the purpose of, hey, what can you do to make Westbrook's stats go up? They need that extension for him. They need Russell Westbrook to stay long term, because if he's gone, they have nothing. If he's gone, that's a 20-30 win team.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's funny because I'm looking here on the regular season. Like I said, 31 points, 10 rebounds, 10.4 assists. He in the postseason, they got knocked out the first round by Houston. He upped his average 37 points per game, 11.6 rebounds, and about 11 assists per game, which means that he wants the ball even more, and that means, I don't know what Victor Oladipo was averaging, only 10 points per game. That's absolutely terrible.
And you look at what he does on the court, and like, yes, if I shoot 40 shots a game, I'll score 30 points. I only have to make 10 to 15 shots to do that.
But that's right too. But he only has pretty much Victor Oladipo.
What are his options? You mean that's a big argument you can put up there? But what other option does he have?
If
So it's
LeBron,
either-
Kawhi, or Russell or James Harden were on the Thunder, would they put up similar numbers? Yes. You look at LeBron James; he's putting up similar numbers to Westbrook right now. Maybe not 42 triple doubles numbers, but he's still averaging very near that. And he's always the best player on every team every year.
Yeah, but he's not even the MVP talk.
Oh yeah, because he's just getting overshadowed by it.
he is.
I think a big thing about it this year is that it's the media that's overshadowing that, especially with Westbrook. I think they're conveying him to be much more of a factor in this race than he actually is.
He is more of a factor. The man averaged a triple double the whole entire season.
Yeah.
Do I think that he deserves MVP? No, God no.
No,
but
he doesn't.
if I just want to make a point here, James Harden of the Houston Rockets, he has Eric Gordon, shooting guard, who we think is going to be the most six man. Yeah. He has Ryan Anderson, who they picked up from the Hornets. Are you kidding me? This team has the best 3-point shooting percentage, maybe down below Golden State Warriors, in the whole NBA.
Yeah, I will say that.
And that's even with their starting lineup. When they're in their backup, they have Patrick Beverly, they have Lou Williams. That's pretty much all I see. I mean, Corey Brewer can even put up some shots, but this is a team to be reckoned with, and they blew San Antonio out.
First game you saw,
San Antonio is a really, really, really good team.
And we were having this conversation before Harden or Westbrook, and I say, wait till the first round, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And you saw during that first round, Harden made Westbrook almost like he made his team so much better than Westbrook's.
Well,
they blow him out with 5 games.
That's the thing, though. The reason why Westbrook is in front, what I think it is, from 1 to 3, 3 to 1, whatever. It's Kawhi, Russell, and James Harden.
You
know
Harden
why?
at 3.
I do, because Russell Westbrook, James Harden has a lot of people that make him look good. Russell Westbrook is making himself look good.
James Harden makes himself look good. He's the best isolation player in the NBA.
Well, then look at what's Russell Westbrook doing in that event.
And his teammates are making him better.
No, Russell Westbrook. I just read off the roster.
I saw your stats, but if James Harden was on that team without Westbrook, he'd put up the same numbers.
I'm sorry for yelling. Russell Westbrook only has Victor Oladipo as a shooting guard. Do you want to trust anybody else besides those two with the ball? Do you want to trust Enes Kanter, Steven Adams, Taj Gibson, any of those players? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That is crazy. If James Harden wasn't in the game, Eric Gordon would be in there putting up numbers. Lou Williams would be. It's so distributed.
How can you say that when James Harden is the lead leader in assists per game?
It is so distributed.
He makes his teammates. He gives his teammates those numbers. He's part of the reasons that Eric Gordon can rejuvenate his career. Go, Matt.
What I want to say is an interesting comment you put up when you said when James Harden was on OKC. You said he put up the same numbers.
I know. I said he would put up the same numbers if on the same team that Westbrook's on.
When he was, in a situation with Westbrook, 16 points a game.
That's coming off the bench too.
That's coming off the bench.
That's coming off the
bench. Is this 2-time 6-man view?
It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, he has a chance. I'm glad he's doing great on the Rockets. He really is, and both of these players have become spectacular players. On the other hand, Westbrook is making his case.
He's making his case.
He's making the case.
He is.
And he's not trying to go for the media too. I've seen a lot of James Harden stir up stuff too. All the eyes are on Westbrook, and he is not trying to be in the spotlight. He's just trying to be honest,
I think the most valuable player, they're not looking much on the... I think the team statistics, the wins and losses should matter, but... They're mostly looking at the stats. And when you look at Russell Westbrook leading just the entire stat line for OKC with the points, rebounds, assists, steals. And Houston Rockets, you just said, didn't you not just say that James Harden could match him? And that's why they won?
Oh, I said, or are you talking about the playoffs? Or when I said if he was on Harden?
I'm talking about both. No, I'm talking about playoffs. Right now, James Harden's Houston Rockets.
Yeah, he overpowered him.
I don't think that's it at all because Russell Westbrook had an even better game than he did even in the regular season. I read it to you already. I said the 36 points per game, the 11 rebounds, and almost 11 assists. still averaging a triple-double. And he probably would have kept those numbers up even if they didn't win the round one. I'm saying if they got past
his usage rate's like out of the roof though. Like
you're right.
If you're used that much in the game, yes,
that's one of the reasons why he won't win, because he's averaging literally 35 shots per game, and James Harden over here, I think he's like putting up maybe 20 shots at most. But at the same
time, he'll put up more than that.
I don't know.
He puts up more than those. But like back to what you were saying, like it's really not thought about much, but the MVP race like really should factor in how your team is doing as a result of your play. You know what I'm saying? Because you see Rockets winning 50-plus games with with a 3 seed. They earned a 3 seed, and you could say, and he had a great season. That's why I'm advocating.
Tell me what Houston Rockets' record was.
Their record was 55-27.
55-27. Okay, well now I'm gonna factor Kawhi Leonard in here, who I think is the MVP. Because if you want to talk about the team stats and the wins and losses, Spurs are 61-21.
They are.
Exactly.
They are.
And you know what?
I'm not saying anything against Kawhi Leonard. I think he's. I'd put it maybe at first. I wouldn't even put Russell Westbrook like in the top 2.
If Stephen Curry was in this, he would obviously have to win because they were 67-15. So that's an invalid. It's a valid one, but at the same time, I pretty much just countered it. It's invalid now.
I mean, yes.
Now you're basically looking at the stats because
I think it's best player in the best team, but you also have to factor in like it's also about individual. You have to balance best player, best team with individual performance. Okay, yes, Kawhi Leonard had a great season. Yes, he's a great all-around player.
James.
LeBron is a great all-around player too.
LeBron James wins championship. So all those years you won a championship, do you think you should have won MVP every year?
Some of them, yeah.
No.
He's 4 MVPs right now.
Keyword. Some of them. You said some. And it's about team success that you just said. So what are you trying to tell me here? And
I'm not telling you it's all about team success. I'm saying it should be a good balance.
Personally, I think LeBron James is the best player on the planet.
Oh yeah, okay. Not at all debatable.
That's arguable.
But let me
wait. Pause. For who?
For who?
Against who?
Well, you know what? I respect his game, but at the same time, I do not like the way
what my point is.
That's it.
Ethan's argument was that it's about team success and player ability, and you got to balance them out. So, arguably, LeBron James is the best player on the planet, and his team won the championship how many times?
He's won.
One. But
or go
total.
Total.
He's won 3.
So, and you say that he sometimes. Some of those times should have won MVP. What are you telling me? You're not telling. You're just contradicting yourself because you're just saying that he's one of the best players on the planet, and he won championships, and he still doesn't deserve MVP. So James Harden, in that aspect, is totally declined. You just
not just James Harden. It's pretty much everybody in the
I think the media race. Like the media also like plays a big factor in this too. Like you don't see the media always going on. You see like networks like ESPN, Bleacher Report going off more about James Harden and Russell Westbrook than they do LeBron nowadays. LeBron's proven himself as like a high elite player, and I'm not saying these other 2 guys are because they're among the best players in the NBA. But these are 2 guys that both on a hunt for an MVP that they haven't won before, having both outstanding seasons that they haven't shown in the past. And LeBron keeps doing the same numbers, and he's still 32, 33. Like you know what to expect from LeBron, and I'm not saying that's a terrible thing. He's the best player on the planet. But it also is about media coverage and like who does what.
You know, back into the actual MVP race with LeBron James getting out of here because LeBron James, he's obviously one of the greatest players in the NBA, and so why should he be winning the NBA MVP all the time? But Kawhi Leonard, if you want to talk about individual stats, 25 points per game. And 2 steals, averaging that. That was in the regular season. And you want to talk about individual stats, he don't need a lead in the certain stats, the points, rebounds, whatever. He's a leader on that team. And ever since he got traded from the Indiana Pacers to that team, he's been nothing but just climbing up the roster, climbing up that board, and making himself an even better player. And more of a leader, like I said. But in the postseason right now, he's averaging almost 30 points, 4 assists, and again, 2 steals again. So that's all I'm going to say about Kawhi Leonard. That's why we haven't talked too much about him because, it's neck and neck pretty much for Houston and James Harden and OKC Thunder.
Hey, we could argue about this all day and all night, but we'll see what happens when awards come out.
June 26th.
June 26th.
Live in New York.
All right, so that was our take in the NBA MVP race. Stay tuned for more coverage.